Alright, we're jumping straight into the action here. Ended up with the collectors again. This is my Cabal build. Was definitely a tricky character to get my head around. Namely because there was just so many... There's just so much she brings into the game. I just didn't... Took me a while to just wrap my head around what I needed more than the other, because obviously you can't have it all. Like, she's squishy, so I wanted health. She needs weapon support, so I wanted damage and stability. It was obviously she's got those her own poison ballistic blades. It's crazy. She's got the charge. It took me a while to wrap my head around how to play this character. I've got a build that works. It's quite effective, but it's also very tricky to play. There's a lot of it's very situational. This build. I'm gonna try and explain what I'm doing with it. Because for one thing, Poison Strike, I gotta give it a little rant about this one. That has got some wonky ass hit detection. I mean, I swear to God, one of the most frustrating things is just going straight through the enemy. You just go straight through them, and there's like no reaction to you at all. I mean, sometimes you knock them down on their feet, but that's not what I'm after. What I'm doing here, I'm running around with the Wraith. I'm taking 2 shots of the Wraith, and then I'm going to charge them for the fire explosion. And sometimes I just don't get it. Just don't get the fire explosion, because I just don't seem to hit the enemy. But one thing that always seems to work is I always seem to apply some sort of poison onto him. I find that you'll look at the kill feed and it'll say Poison Strike killed this enemy. So it's like the poison always hits the enemy, and they always take that damage over time. But whether or not you'll actually get all the the actual force, going through and actually getting off your fire explosions, because it does detonate. Poison Strike does detonate, so that's what I was trying to do here. Obviously the Wraith fires twice and then it reloads. It's got a fast reload, but here's a little trick that I haven't got round to showing you yet. I would have in one of my later video guides, but the DLC's out now, so here we are. Basically, if you do a power immediately after you empty a clip, the gun will reload itself during the animation of that power. So what's working out really well for me now is just putting the 2 shots in with the Wraith and then instantly doing the Poison Strike. This means that my gun is reloaded by the time I'm at the other end of Poison Strike. I'm ready to turn around, put in another 2 shots and Poison Strike again. That's pretty much what I'm doing. There's fire ammo on my Wraith, so I'm getting the fire explosion every time I go through with the Poison Strike. Also then, if they do survive the actual explosion, then there's a poison on them and they're going to take damage over time. It kills pretty much all the mooks, it really does. Then there's... let's look at the Biotic Focuser. This one is incredibly situational when I use this. If I charge into a group of... If I run into an area and there's a lot of enemies in there, I'm going to put on the Mental Focuser. And then basically I'm just a little bit tankier when I'm taking them on. And obviously then I'll use it in a stim pack style. When I'm low on health, I might just swallow one. I just got to weigh up the situation. It's like, if it's okay for me to just sort of charge through and carry on my routine of my little fire explosion sequence, I'll go for it. But if I think there's just too much going on in the area, it's too busy, it's too hot, that's when I'm going to just eat the Biotic... Well, I'm not going to eat it, it's just the power. I'm going to use the Biotic Focuser, and then I'm going to just get some shields back. Right, okay, now the Nightshade blades, it doesn't... Her moves don't feel like they gel too well, but they all come into use. They really do. They're all pretty cool powers. It just feels like they were sort of thrown together onto this character. The Nightshade things, basically, they're my boss killer. They do a ton of damage. Damage over time. They're kind of like a ballistic... They shoot like ballistic blades, but they do damage like inferno grenades. This is just trying to give you some sort of frame of reference. It's not actually like fire damage or anything like that. But basically, what I'll do if I see a boss, I'll shoot my blades at them, then I'll shoot my wraith, then I'll charge, and then I'll repeat the cycle. And basically, I believe those poison blades, those Nightshade blades, they stack. So it does help me really take out those boss enemies. But it's also got a fantastic radius on it, so it's really good for crowd control. So if you ever got a lot of enemies up in your face, I'm going to recommend that you stick the Nightshade blade out there too. That's going to help you get those enemies off your back. Or out of your face, rather. So those are the two situations. They're all the situations I use the powers. Essentially, my bread and butter is the Wraith and Poison Strike. Poison Strike can be your best friend and your worst enemy. It really can. It's a strange ass power. It does have a really dodgy hit protection. It's like now and again I just don't get anything. I just go straight through the enemy. And it can happen quite regularly. It can really just completely get you killed. The power would be so much cooler if you could sort of like work it like Nova, where you're able to sort of change the camera angle as you were sort of charging. So if I was able to like charge and then change the camera around so that when I'm facing the enemy I just charge through, that would be so much cooler. I'd feel like a ninja if I had all that kind of business going on. But no, it's not how it works. It's just really you got to turn around, you got to charge through, turn around and get back into the sequence. You know, it's really good for it's definitely it's got some great features. I mean, getting around the map, oh my god, it's so cool for getting around the map with. You're going to see some nice footage here that I'm just going to literally just cut through like a big chunk of Reactor just to get to escorts and whatever I need to get to. But it's also amazing at dodging the bosses. Like if you've got a brute charging at you, or you've got the Praetorian flying at you, all this kind of good stuff, you can just charge through them, and then those big idiots are going to turn their slow asses around to take you on again. And then by the time they've turned around, you've put in another 2 shots, and you're ready to just charge through. And basically, they just have a hard time keeping up with you. So it's good. It's a nice little sequence for taking out the bosses and stuff, especially when you're throwing in the Nightshade blades. Like I said though, I build's going to be at the end of the video again, but I will try to explain it as I go along. I can't even remember all the crazy evolutions. Right, for the Poison Strike then, one evolution in this, I just went for the Reach. Its default little nudge is very short. It requires that you be in much closer than you normally. You don't have to be. She's so squishy as well. It really is, and that Biotic focuser just. I don't know. Maybe if you had full fitness, maybe it would be well. But I still just get ripped to shreds with even with the mental focuser in act. Like so, I don't like to be that close with her. I do like to have a distance, and then I can just sort of charge through, and then I'm the same distance on the opposite side of them. So yeah, I went for Reach, and then I left Poison Strike. The other evolutions of it is all about adding more poison damage and damage over time. I find that the enemy are dead before I need any more poison over time. Like I said, the only ones that will survive it are the bosses, and I got Nightshade blades for those guys. So yeah, let's talk about Nightshade blades. Nightshade blades, they're like ballistic blades in how they operate. It's the same sort of launch animation, but what you get is this crazy like damage over time. Once they've hit the enemy, they do a lot of damage over time. It's really like heavy, like an inferno grenade. It's really nice boss killer. So yeah, I basically I think I spec for all damage with it. I think you can choose Reach, which I didn't. I can't remember the evolutions now off the top of my head, but it's a lot of just damage, damage and duration, and I tried the explosive blades. That's one of the last evolutions you can pick. I thought it would help with some extra crowd control. Yeah, I didn't feel it. I think I was just happier to use it more like a inferno grenade that I shoot like a ballistic blade. That just seems to work better for me. So I went for more damage on the final evolution, and that's pretty much it. That's the best way I can describe it. It is like an inferno grenade that I shoot like ballistic blades. They require grenade ammo, so obviously you can use. I'm using the Shock Trooper pack, so I got more of them, and I'm doing extra shotgun damage. Grenade capacity might be really nice. You could probably do a really nice build with this if you just sort of skipped out of Poison Strike actually, and just went for like a mental focuser and or Biotic Focuser, I forget what it is, and the Nightshade blades just sort of running around tanking with that and just doing crazy damage all the time. But then basically that makes you like a bad Batarian soldier, to be honest. A Batarian soldier is going to do that kind of gameplay a lot more efficiently than this character is. Plus she's a Vanguard. I mean, if I wasn't charging at the enemy, I'd feel dirty. So yeah, I've got Poison Strike in there, but there's another way to approach it. One I thought about doing, but ultimately said, nah, it's just not the Vanguard way. Poison Strike is cool, but like I said, it can just completely ruin your day. It really can. I find it really, really annoying with Cerberus the most, because you just go through the Cerberus troopers quite frequently. I think it's because they're skinny little things, where everything else, all the other enemies are kind of clunky. Tried it against the Geth. Yeah, it'll kill the Geth, but obviously you've got to deal with stun lock and stuff, and that's just general annoyances. I think most Vanguards are familiar with that kind of mechanic. But yes, you can take this build against all enemy factions. I have done. It does work. It's a strange character. It's an absolutely unique character. And it's like when it works for you, it's like a lot of fun. When it doesn't, it is frustrating. I have done so much swearing and cursing today trying to get this character right, and I'm still very iffy about this build. It's could change a lot, but it works. Like, I know, I hope you can see that it is really working. Let me try and explain it more. What you need to know about Poison Strike, it's not anything like Biotic Charge. Really, mechanically, very, very different. You can do it whenever. You don't need a target to actually launch into the attack, so you can literally use it for mobility, just getting around the map and all that kind of good stuff. It does not lock on to enemies. It will not target an enemy, so you need to be looking in the right direction when you hit Poison Strike, otherwise you're just not going to get them. See, there, for instance, that was me just going right through the Abomination. There was nothing. An Abomination with 1 health bar, and I went through it with Poison Strike, and it's just nothing. Not a fire explosion. It didn't even die by me on the kill feed. So yeah, it is a very frustrating power. I hope it's a bug that can be fixed, and I hope it is actually a bug, because if this is working as intended, I don't know. It's very odd power. Potential to be very cool though. She's definitely worth playing just for her uniqueness. I can fully appreciate you not liking this character though. Very tricky. It's like basically the easiest way to use this character is kind of redundant if you look at what we've already got. Like I said, with the whole Nightshades and just Biotic Focuser, if you just went with those two, you would just be a bad Batarian soldier. You really would. Yeah, I'll tell you what though, Nightshade blades are amazing. Very, very good power. It's incredible radius. I mean, I'm surprised every time I use it just how much it's got great stopping power, and it just hits so many enemies. I'm not even sure. It doesn't even let you see the radius, I'm pretty sure. I think you can only look at its reach. You don't need reach. You don't need reach. You are a Vanguard, so you're going to be up close. So obviously I've got reach on my thing, so I keep a sort of pistol distance. This is like the only Vanguard I keep pistol distance with, and that's that. I've never had a problem making my Nightshade blades attach or connect rather when I'm using without reach. You just don't waste your time. See, that was me going through the map there trying to save the guy, but he obviously had a captain on him, so he gelled. There's much nicer ones though with the thing, but no, Nightshade blades really, really good power. Does a lot of damage. The Biotic, I haven't talked about Biotic Focuser at all, yeah, have I? Biotic Focuser can basically give you damage resistance or shield regeneration, essentially. What I've gone for is damage resistance for the first 2 ranks. Can't remember now, but can't remember what rank 5 offers you actually. The first one was definitely something like you got damage resistance and movement speed, or you can have recharge your shields more, or your barriers in this case. I went with the damage reduction, movement speed. Honestly, can't remember what rank 5 is. The build is at the end of this video. I can't stress that enough. But then the final one was a choice between more damage reduction, melee damage, movement speed, or have an invulnerability frame for half a second, and then 40% of your barriers back. I absolutely went for that one. I actually went for the barriers. The invulnerability frame is negligible. Yeah, I don't even know it ever happens. It's about getting the barrier. I found that I just need barrier to survive, because there isn't enough damage reduction. I've only got 4. I've got durability on this character, and this just that was annoying. See, that was Poison Strike not going through the Praetorian, just went in it or towards it. Fortunately, I was shot down, so I'm able to gel in a bit. But yeah, Poison Strike can be very, very temperamental. But no, I just felt this, like, the damage reduction is never enough to help this character really sort of take on a load of fire. She really isn't a damage. She's not like a Vanguard. She can't take aggro. She just can't. She can create aggro, but she cannot take it. So no, the damage reduction was not going to be enough. I needed barriers. That's why I've got that evolution at the end. It seems to be very important. It's really good on certain hazard maps as well, like the Ghost and the Glacier. Just get your barrier back up. Definitely not my favourite Vanguard. Yeah, this is definitely not my favourite Vanguard. She is just very, very difficult to play, actually. It's not that she's a bad character, it's just that you really need to work to get any kind of good result with her. It's like literally. This is the game me and Dom finally managed to get. So we were with 2 pugs, and it's just me and Dom. We just went into try hard mode here. We really started focusing on what we were doing. Me and Dom's going to do really well. Actually, he's gonna. It's really. I'm really glad I had Dom in this game, because it was me and him that really got this job done. Pugs weren't bad, actually. But it was. It was because of Dom's support in this. We just really got the job done. But yeah, when I'm arsing about and clowning around with this character, stuff goes bad very quickly. I really do kind of need to focus when I'm playing this one. It's a lot. She is really just all hit and run. See, that was me. Another Poison Strike using to escape a bad situation there. Yeah, hit and run character. Definitely. Because you need to run away. As soon as you're vulnerable, you need to get out of there. But this is what is nice with my my main sort of bread and butter tactic, where it's 2 shots from the Wraith and then Poison Strike. Then literally at the other end, I've got my Wraith reloaded, and I'm ready to just repeat that. And I can just go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until the enemy's dead. And you know, and I got this isn't this one, yeah, so there's all that crap. I'm going to go right through here. Go straight into the Escort. So yeah, Poison Strike is very cool power, just very temperamental. Yeah, it's quite annoying, actually. Is she the worst Vanguard? Maybe. But you know, all the Vanguards are actually really good. Otherwise, she's not the worst by a lot. If that makes any sense. Oh, someone baked me here. That was funny. It literally is so hard. This is one of the characters that just really had me scratching my chin here and really thinking about how I'm going to make her work. You really just need to play her. She's very hard to describe to you. She has a very odd mix match of powers, and it's like they're all just situational. She's just got 3 very situational powers, and you just got to be ready to use them at their appropriate time and get the most out of them. I would recommend having all of her powers, though. Wouldn't drop one of them. Let me just talk about her basics, though. She's got Turian passive tree, so she's got all the damage and stability and stuff, which is nice. You could probably go with a nice like hurricane on her, but I just felt I needed more oomph when I found, because I just needed more stopping power. The enemy is just doing far too much damage on me for me to just sort of be tickling away with a hurricane there. So she's got that, and her dodge roll is absolutely amazing. Actually, it's like the Furies. It's what the Furies needed to be. The Furies got a really cool dodge roll, but it is sort of hindered by the fact that there's like a long animation to it. It's like there's like a delay before you start teleporting around the map. With this chick, it is instantaneous. You'll just be in one spot in the next. It's actually it can actually send you places that you really didn't want to go. It's quite a large leap too. It takes some getting used to, as does Poison Strike. That Krogan Warlord, though, I've seen a lot of good stuff with him on the battlefield. He will be who I'm going to be playing next. I really wanted to try and get this video out for today, but it's like 1 in the morning now, so this is technically going to be tomorrow, and hopefully I can just get the Krogan Warlord out tomorrow as well, so you're kind of technically going to hopefully get you 2 videos for tomorrow. But yeah, I had to use a reset card on this character. It was a lot of fiddling around with this one. But yeah, if I'm going to try and put this in a nutshell for you, literally your bread and butter is shoot twice with the Wraith, Poison Strike instantly as soon as you've emptied the clip. Just Poison Strike through. By the time once that power's finished and you're on the opposite side of the enemy, you'll have a fully reloaded Wraith, and you're ready to just turn around and do it again. For boss enemies, you want to basically throw the Nightshade blades into the mix. So Nightshade blades first, 2 shots of the Wraith, Poison Strike, turn around, do exactly the same thing. Then obviously you've got the mental focuser then to help you survive. Think of it as like your stim pack. You like your Turian Ghost stim pack. Use that when you're in a tricky situation, or buff yourself up when you're about going to take on a lot of enemies. You know you're going to take a lot of hits, so make sure you've got that extra durability before you start. That's how I can sort of sum up how I'm playing this character, and you're going to get my build at the end. Now we're still wrapping up. We're just going to. Me and Dom are going to take the scenic route to the LZ now. Yeah, but there you go. Tricky character. I'm going to still play her. This isn't like oh, I'm so glad this is over type of character. I am glad it's over. I'm glad I managed to get a build out for today. But no, she is just very unique. She's worth playing just because she's the only one that does what she does. Okay. Well, it's like the Alliance Infiltrator unit or Infiltration unit. That was just that was just incredible carnage. Really accessible carnage as well. Whereas this one's is a worker. You really need to up your game to play this character. You really do. She's not noob friendly at all. But yeah, I tried a lot of guns on her. The Talon works really nice because it strips the shields and barriers, so that you're going to set the enemy on fire for your charge and stuff. But like I said, I got the Talon on too many builds, and the Wraith works now. So here we go. Poison Strike, went for range. Nightshade Blades, I went for damage. Oh, Poison Duration and Enhanced Blades. So it is all just damage. Damage taken then, duration, and biotic shield for the focus. Then I went for damage and capacity, power damage, and then I took some weapon damage and stability with the Turian, and then I got some durability on it. Okay, that's the build. I've given you the game style. Obviously, I went with the smart choke and the high velocity barrel on the Wraith there. It does complement each other really well. Hope this was useful for you. Hope you want to try the build out. I'll catch you in the next video.